It gets even worse for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Yesterday we talked about how crazy woke this game's going to be as they're putting pronouns into everything, doing all these weird otherkin relationships with characters in the game that you have to deal with, and of course ignoring all of the former lore of the great Dragon Age games. This is exactly what they do. They're making Dragon Age for modern audiences. And gosh, you'd think it can't get worse, but now a writer from the game is attacking gamers and going crazy. Of course, they have like one playbook in the industry, as you are aware. And then this showed up. Baldur's Gate 3 sex noise specialist leads Dragon Age the Veilguard cast. Oh, weird. All of these people are freaks, I got to tell you, and they can't make good video games, and that's why we're here making a difference and changing the industry, my friends. Hit the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate you for being here. I love all the gamers, even if Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku don't, and even if Dragon Age the Veilguard don't. We are not doing this for the clout with them. We're doing this to make games great again and make the culture great again. I really, again, appreciate you for being there. I say it, but I like saying it. So my name's John Delarose, everybody, and like I said, join the channel here, and also sign up for my newsletter. I am a writer, and I write comic books and science fiction novels and fantasy novels. If you like the old Dragon Age, you'll actually really love my Adventures of Baron von Monocle series. And Night Training is a novella in that I give you for free for signing up for the newsletter. It's in the description below. You get a graphic novel and Flying Sparks and lots of stuff. That way we can stay in contact, and I love interacting with you guys. Thank you so much. And yes, let's get into this news with Dragon Age. This is absolutely crazy what's going on here. As it gets much worse, as Grum says. The former and current Bioware Dragon Age writers mock gamers and poo-poo feedback openly on social media. They claim the Veilguard companions are to one absolute smoke shows, while gamers hate the new character designs. This shows you how little they think of you. Don't buy games from developers who hate you. I love this mantra. Don't buy things from people who hate you. Super important, guys, as we go through this landscape right now. We can change the game industry right here. And here's David Gator. He looks about like you'd expect with that little smug look and the glasses. Yay. Over on Blue Sky, where it's a safe space from all these gamers, where he complains, the females aren't hot enough. Yet, because they're clued into the notion that this is obviously incel behavior, they've swapped out unattractive for masculine and thus transgender, because that's a framing which makes them seem political instead of porn-brained. But we all know what they mean. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely insane. Attacking your own customer base, saying that they are bad for wanting the people in the game to look attractive as you're playing a game. I mean, video games are a visual medium, David. That's the entire point is for you to go out there and go, okay, I enjoy looking at this thing for hours. I mean, otherwise, what's going to happen? You better make everything attractive. Otherwise, you just don't have anything worth playing. It's absolutely crazy, especially in a setting-based game like Dragon Age, where it's like you are out there trying to immerse yourself in this setting, immerse yourself in this world. That world had better be darn pretty and something worth looking at. That's what a lot of game developers are just missing the mark on these days, and they are now attacking gamers instead of just trying to do their job. It's like he's out here. If I was in charge of Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft, I'm getting them confused because they're all the same these days, Bioware, and I saw this and I'm like, wait a minute. These people are trying to make my game objectively worse, objectively more unattractive, objectively uglier to look at. What am I doing? These people need to be out. I need to get people in who want to make a game that actually people are going to enjoy and that the public's going to want to consume. And here he goes, going even further. Here I am, recalling how this has been a thing ever since some dude whined 10 years ago about Cassandra actually being a man, posting over and over and over about her giant jaw, and posting phrenology pics to scientifically prove why his pee-pee remained flaccid. Oof, these guys, they post the weirdest things, too. It's like they get so insanely into their own selves here that it's just like, wow. And here we go, which came after them complaining that none of the women in Dragon Age 2 were up to their standards either. Isabella being, and I quote, too exotic The smugness is just like it drives me crazy. None of these people are grateful to be where they're at. All these people hate their audiences more than anything. And then they have these like jobs where it's like I don't know why, but they just seem not to be able to get fired either. It's absurd. They're intentionally making the games worse, intentionally making the games uglier, and they're intentionally agitating their own clientele at this point. What the heck? Like, why is this allowed? It wouldn't happen in any other industry. Oh, I absolutely remember those exact words from elements of our fandom, to my eternal disgust. Another says, I remember that about Isabella, which is super weird given how some are using her as an example of good female design. I love Isabella. She was a hoot, but that portion of people did not believe this back then. That's really interesting to assume that one person online is another person online. And it goes to show that these people like don't believe there's this actual amount of gamers. They always say it's like a small minority talking about things and that it's not a big deal, right? And yet at the same time, every single time they have one of these projects that goes absolutely crazy woke like this, you see that nobody buys it. And then when they don't do it, in a game like Stellar Blade or Black Myth Wukong, and it's just something that actually does appeal to gamers, you see that millions of people come in. It's not a small minority, and these are not the same people. Some people may have disliked Isabella. Other people probably thought Isabella was an attractive character. I mean, just get over it already. But this is how these people act, because they can't, in their minds, fathom that there is a bunch of different gamers, that there's a lot of different people out there. It's something that's just like it's a cognitive dissonance thing, because they have to believe that everybody is just like them. That's the whole thing right here. But you see it online. I mean, like you want to go into Isabella, they've got, articles about this. This is crazy. And like, look at this. Of course, it's written by a woman. 10 years later, Dragon Age 2 Isabella's still my ultimate crush. And, she looks pretty good. So I don't know what she's talking about right there. But hey, here we go. So the mantra of Bioware fan is, the game about to come out is garbage. Why didn't you make it exactly like the last game, which was perfect? Repeat this every game launch until the heat death of the universe. This is another thing that they're doing a lot in what they're saying. And I'm seeing this in the comic industry too. There's been complaints of, why do you always say you don't want it to be exactly the same thing as before, but anytime anything new's tried, you don't like it? Well, the problem is they're not trying to like make new elements which are interesting and creative and build a game into something neat. They're trying to change new elements in like they're trying to like add a new woke political dimension to it every single time. It's the same thing tried. It's actually not a new thing. It's the same old tired tropes of wokeism that are just permeating everything. That's what people are sick of. That's what people are sick of going into these new games at this point. And that's why these things are failing. It is not going to go well for these people, and there's not going to be BioWare fans going forward, especially when you're going out there with the writers and devs attacking gamers like this. And this is exactly what's happening now. You can imagine that after he goes crazy, every single time, my friends, him has gone protected because he knows that his statements were bad. He knows that it mocked and insulted gamers, and he knows that, gamers are going to push back. And of course, he's going to cry harassment. He's going to cry all of these things because they do the same tactics every single time. They make a game that they know is going to agitate and upset gamers, number one. Then they go and complain about gamers and they say, don't buy it. We hate you as a fans and all that. Then they get pushback and they claim that they're harassed and that they should get some sort of like reparations for that. It's ridiculous. And this is what participation trophy culture ends up with. I love this meme that came out of this, though. Dragon Age then and now, and that's exactly what we're getting with this new crazy woke game. Well, these people hate you, and the only option that you have is just to not buy Dragon Age the Veilguard. BioWare has made it clear that gamers are the problem. You're problematic. And so, gamers just walk away. They don't need us, and so we can go do and play something else, read something else, and have a lot of fun without all of their shrieking and whining. It's a great time to be a gamer because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of new studios to support to replace these old ones that have just screwed the pooch. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure to join my newsletter and get a free graphic novel and 2 free books. Appreciate you for being there and look forward to seeing you in our community.